think we are. I think we're ready. Ready enough, I suppose. How'd you do? I don't. Yeah, it's really weird, that, isn't it? Why on the screen they've got a battery indicator. Normally when it's on charge, it'll go even when it's recording. But for some reason, it's stopped doing that now. But yeah, hello, welcome and all that. Let's get things motivated, shall we? Hello. Right, I'm going to strap the back of this load up and get shit sorted out so we can have a little bit of a drive along. Now, what I want to do is possibly go all the way to the yard, or if my stomach starts going, food, then I'm going to have to stop at the service and get some food, right? We'll just have to wait and see, okay? Shall we get on with it then, shall we? Right now. Let me just, oh fuck. That's better. We're still recording. Testicles 1, 2, yeah. That was a good start, wasn't it? Oh dear. I'm liking that. I think we might go a bit more, mind you. Hurry up. Yeah. Tilt you forward a bit. Like so. I'll keep messing, don't I? It'll do. Let's go and get these sorted. Put these on. Oh, wake up. Okay. I just hope I haven't buggered this thing up now. No, it's still recording. Right, we're going to go and put you on, but first I've got to go and sort the back out so you can watch me faff about with that, I suppose. It's all right, Aid, you know what I mean? When you can sit and watch me faff, it always adds that little bit more to it, doesn't it? Makes it a little bit more interesting, I suppose. Oh, hang on. I want that. Shove it in my ass pocket. Perfect. Gloves. I need me gloves. Gloves are important. Because if I haven't got my gloves, my hands are going to get dirty. And we don't want dirty gloves and dirty hands and dirty fingers and dirty cereals and dirty everything else, do we now? Don't want that. I've got a dangly. Right, if we shove you there for a sec. Right. Will it go? Or will it make a pain in the arse of everything else? I can do it all that, I suppose. Yes, I know I'm wasting time. I like wasting time. Wasting time is cool. Yeah, should be enough. What do you reckon? Right, for my first task. Got to open the curtains so I can stick the straps on it. But ain't nowhere for you to go. I can put you there. I just got to open it now, fucker runs over it. You know what I mean? Oh, you fucker. I always, when he's coming here, strapping these things up, it's always nice to have a good distance, because when you're strapping double stack pallets up, you need to corral the top ones. So the main goal is the top. Now through the pallet, yeah, and snap it tight. Try and keep the twists out if you can. And that one then goes down the bottom, which we will deal with in a moment. Extend them out. Once you get the top of the pallet secured, right, and you stop, it's the actual pallet. I mean, the product on it is on the pallet, but the thing is though, you need to stop the pallet from moving. If you put a strap around the product, you could end up pulling the product off the pallet. So it's a pallet you want to be corralling, you know what I mean? Last through that bitch, and then we'll again do the same with that one. So now we've got that done, we can climb down or fall down. Alright, I ain't having that. Come on. It's alright, when they're twisted it's a pain in the arse. Nobody wants twisted ones. Nobody wants it twisted. So, let's get this thing lengthened out. Now, what I try to do is send it as far back as I can, because that way then the angle is a lot more acute and it's got better grip. Plus you can really give them a good old, you know, pull them up good and tight. And this one here is realistically is a bit, just a bit of extra. As soft as it sounds, it's not really needed, but it just makes it look pretty, though it. Done. And that's that side done. Come on. There's a couple of pallets that are I'll push over. Sometimes I do. clip. Right, that's that bit done. It's all good. Next. Once again, now lengthen these out as far as we can get them. Because I'm on the pallet, I can give it a good old tug, stick some fucking weight behind it, you know what I mean? Done. I don't think that's going anywhere. Tuck the top in. And that is that. That's what it looks like. Bit of a webbing, and it'll just keep it under control. Shouldn't go anywhere. Come on, you fucker. Now try it. There we go. Perfection. Right. Put you on now, can't we? On this side. No? Ah, hello, there you are. Oh fuck, what's going on here? Check. Not too bad that, I think. I can get away with it. What do you reckon? It's tight enough. I think we can get away with that one. And put you on now. Doobly-doobly-doobly-doo. Right, just going to straighten you back up again. Nice and tight. On the end you go. Look at that, fucking sweet, isn't it, bloody late? Sweet as a fucking nut. And for some reason I can't get any tight enough. What do you reckon? I think we're good at that. I hope. Check. The old recorder's going still. Right. Let's get on with it. Oh no, it's just fucking popped in my head. We've done that before, have we? Leaving gloves somewhere they shouldn't be. Fucking flying off down the road. Oh yeah, it's on the way from fucking Shelby. Pottington or something it's called, right? Or Pollington or something. I would forget my bollocks if it wasn't in a bag. Oh fuck. Right, let's get rid of this stupid thing. Because we don't need it. And go down there. Remove over that. That as well. Get rid of that just in case. Fuck that up. You're supposed to be out there at the fucking road. Okay. Right, yes. We are on our way. Finally. You know what? Won't have it. Just won't fucking have it. For some unknown reason, this is a completely different truck, right? Same model, but there's things in this vehicle that just don't work as well as the other one. For start off, the ignition key keeps locking and you can't turn the fucking thing, so you have to take the key out and put it back in again. Which is stupid! Fucking ridiculous. Also, for some unknown reason, it feels like there's a fucking gaping hole in the front of the truck because there's a rapidly freezing cold draft blowing through. It's just... That's on, so why aren't you? Thingamajiggy. I don't want to get fucking with it now, that's the problem. It's next off. There's no battery sign there whatsoever, it's just... It's crap. I don't get it. You know, it's flashing there saying, I'm going flat. So this is fucked. It always comes up charging now. Now it's flashing there for some reason. So the problem is, if I take off and that fucking thing just goes beep 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 beep, I'm gonna be fucked and I'm gonna lose all the footage. I don't understand it. Hang on, just bear with me. See, it is charging. Just stops the animation of it charging when your recorder's on. Oh well, there you go. I'll have to sync that up as well for later on. That's fine, it's not a bother. I'm quite clever with that stuff anyway, ain't I? Come on then. Let's fiducia this place. Nice and steady, off we go. And I will endeavour to keep the old eco driving up to scratch. As it started off, this truck was on 41 total, or was it? Was it 41 total? I think it was 41 total. I'm trying to think now. The braking efficiency was on 16. So it wasn't on 41, was it? It was on something else. What was it on? It was low anyway. I think it might have been 41, but anyway, it don't matter. I've got pictures somewhere. I'll stick them up here. You'll see them. So that's what the ratio was. The thingamajig of this when it started this morning. And at the moment we are at 47% total, which is improved on what it was originally. And it's still on 55 anticipation with the braking. That's what it was on originally. The efficient braking, that was on 16 and I'm on 24 at the moment, so I've done well with that. You know, to bring that back up. Caution, this vehicle is turning left. Caution, this vehicle is turning... Well, as soft as you might say, you know, I'll believe that it is turning left. Why is that, mate? Because I can see those fucking flashing lights on the side of it, and they happen to be on the left-hand side. Ain't that clever? Yeah, but you see, cyclists, they need to be fucking made more aware because they're stupid. What? I'm only pointing out a fact. They have to have this shit because people on cyclists can be fucking stupid. They ignore that flashing light and still traverse down the side of vehicles and they get squishified. Enough of that now. Stop it. Stop taking the piss out of the poo cyclists. What if they'd fucking use cycle paths where available and not try and traverse down the side of wagons where there's railings on the footpath? I mean, what would you expect? Using the old exhaust brake. This is how that braking for thingamajiggy, what's we call it, is activated, and how it gives you this, I don't know, what do you call it, marks out of 10, I suppose, I don't fucking know, some sort of eco-friendly driving. And instead of, because see, when I normally drive, I tend to, when I'm coming down here, I'd have my foot on the brake and I'd be gently just persuading it nice and steady. But I'm using the exhaust brake instead, right? And if you time it just right, hopefully we can get round it like that. And you haven't got to use the pedal. And sometimes it'll come up saying service brake saved, well done. What the fuck that means, I don't know. But hey, unless it means that it saves the brakes being serviced earlier, there's always that possibility. Right, there's a set of traffic lights here now. Again, you've got to gauge it, so I'm in the first position of the exhaust brake, and you can change gears with that. Stick in the second one, it gives you that little bit more of a third one is like ah. You see, timing it like that and taking it off gently, and then away we go. Efficient braking, full marks. But it didn't do the anticipation thing. I mean, the anticipation is probably, it should be part of that, which I don't get, because the way it comes across from me, right? And I'm going to be going on a bit now, so please bear with me. But this anticipation to braking and efficient braking, they work in polar opposites as far as I can tell, because if you anticipate what's in front of you, you want to put your foot on the brake to slow down because you're anticipating that there's something's going to fucking happen. Right, but then your efficient braking goes, ha ha, fuck you! You know what I mean? Goes down to like 0 or something, or 1 tick, saying, meaning your efficient braking is now good. I'm like, well, is that fair? I have had it where it's been 1 tick on the efficient braking, but 5 ticks on the fucking anticipation, and I don't get that. I mean, I don't see the logic in that. Surely, if you anticipated, your efficient braking should be at the same bump, 5 fucking ticks. I have had it at 5 ticks on both. That's, you have to, there's like a knack for that. I think you have to have it on the, use the exhaust brake along with your foot brake, but your foot brake goes on at literally the fucking last second that you need. Just a quick dab before you then manoeuvre, say, around an island maybe, or at a junction or something like that. You know what I mean? But if you do it sort of like what I'm going to do now, right? I'm in the first position again. Change gear down, so I'm in a 10th gear now, right? Slow it down. Back into the second position. It's dropped another gear. Right? Slowing right down, using just the exhaust brake. Then I just back it off a little bit because I'm going to coast in a bit. Knock it down 1 more gear. Right? Now I won't get fuck all for this, and yet I've used nothing but the exhaust brake. You know, I don't get it. Look at that, straight through. I'll get the efficient braking, but nothing to do with anticipation. I think that should be full marks for anticipation, because I've coasted it anticipating what could be coming and what ain't coming, and I've managed to get through without having to fucking press the pedal at all. You know what I mean? Because I am just that fucking good. Oh dear. Look, if I didn't say it, nobody else would. You know what I mean? Right, off we go. There's one thing I haven't been able to shift though. The fuel just didn't like the fuel. I mean, I was pulling heavy anyway up to Tesco, so. But yeah, it ain't like that, and it dropped from what it was to what it is now, which is like 33.2. It was on 30. Was it 34? It was either 34. It might have even been fucking higher than that. It might have been 36. I don't know. I can't remember now. But anyhow, whatever. Cruise control is on, which works okay because the ABS is communicating properly with the truck and it doesn't throw a wobbly, so that's a good sign. You know what I mean? So as we traverse this particular motorway, which is only a short little farty thing, it's the M180. Literally from that island to there, that's it. What is it? About 2.5, 3 miles at the most. Nuts, innit? Might be a little bit longer than that. It might be about 3.5 miles. You know what I mean? I don't know, but it's a very short one. It's not the shortest, but it is one of the short ones. Yeah. But have you noticed the weather? Considering there was going on about this crap that was going to be hitting us by the weekend, and Easter's going to be the whitest Easter since fucking, what, 25 years ago, whatever it was. And there, look. The world has come through. Yes, planet Earth has decided, no, I'm not going to do that to Great Britain. I can't. They've had enough as it is, so we're just going to, I'll just do a bit of a twiddly widdly here, and they'll tweak it there, and then the winds and the thermals will change, and the jet streams will move in a different position so that they won't get snowed on. You never know. It's possible. Either that, or the mad scientist, whoever's fucking about with the weather, has decided that Great Britain has had enough. Oh dear. Hey, as soft as it sounds, mate, honestly. Coasting down. Let's just bring it down a bit more, nice and steady, because this is a bit of a sharp bend. It's a type of bend that you don't want to be going fast around it. Now, it is cambered well, I'll give you that, but again, when you're a HGV driver and you see things like this, slow and steady is your main goal, right? Any kind of slingshot is what I call them, slow and steady. Because if you're not slow and steady, you end up over there somewhere. And that is not a good thing. No. Cunt you will look like. Proper. Because here's the thing as well, right? If you're heavy and you're going around a slingshot like really... Because some of them can be a lot sharper than that. Because there is junction 15 of the M6. That's got a sharp slingshot. Up and back down it. And if you're really heavy and you're screwing it round there, however unlikely it is, there's a possibility you could end up with a blowout as you're going around it, because obviously it's trying to force your tyres into positions it don't like. You know, it doesn't want to play that way. And if you've got a weak one, or maybe a slow puncture, or you may have something stuck in the tyre, there is a slim possibility it could go bang. So if you're going around there at the rate of knots, not that you can anyway, not if unless you're fucking cuckoo, bang on the wrong side. So if it's on the outside, if you're going around to the left, you go bang and it drops. Well, it's going to chuck you over. It can do, you know what I mean? But if you're going too fast in the first place, that'll end up sending you over anyway, right? Because if you think of you're going in a straight line and then you decide to turn, whichever direction it will be, right? The stuff on the back of your trailer doesn't know this, right? It is oblivious to what's in front, right? But what it likes is going forward. And it'll always want to go forward. Kinetic energy, it's just what happens. That's just the nature of the beast, right? That's why you use your equipment to corral your vehicle, slowing it down to manipulate that lot, so you can control it round left and right bends whenever you need to, right? That's all you do. But if you go too fast, well then that can't catch up with you. So as you try and turn, it'll force you forward. And of course, in that way, that's where you end up going like that and ending up on your arse. So it's never a good thing, that ain't, right? And when you see vehicles on the side, you've got to think to yourself, well, how did they get there? They didn't get there by magic, so what was the cause of it? Let's check it out, shall we? And every time it's down to speed. That's all it is, speed. And there's nothing else you can do about it apart from slow it down. There's no other excuse. You didn't say, the one-armed man did it. No, that doesn't work. So unfortunately, if you do end up doing something like that, you know, it's entirely your fault. And even when you're carrying, I mean, I haven't personally carried, so I can't really have any experience in that respect, but I have carried what they call them, BCIs, are they, or IBCs, the big plastic containers full of liquid. I've carried them. We used to carry them up to Leeds. There was, how many on the back would there be? 2, 4, 6, 8. I mean, there's been up to like 10 or 12 of them, if not more, right, full of liquid. So when you stop and you're slowing it, the truck's doing this, like, well, yeah, because the liquid moves different. The dynamic of it wants to go anywhere and everywhere. And obviously, because it's trapped inside a container, it'll slap up against the container, and it'll then throw its energy the other side of the container. And when you've got several containers and they keep flapping around all that place, I think that's when you get this circular kind of rocking motion. It's nuts, it really is. But I can imagine it, like with a tanker, would be amplified, because you've got a tanker is one big tube, isn't it? It's got what they call baffles inside there to reduce the slushing about, if you like, but it still does it. You know what I mean? So they have to be even more careful when they come to junction. I've got something that's making my eyes stick together. It's doing my fucking head in. I keep closing my eyes. I can go pink, pink. I'm like, what the fuck? That's why I'm furking. But to me, that's what you have to do. Your goal when you're driving somewhere is to take your stuff and get it from point A to point B as safe as you can. Shut up, I'm getting me some tissue out to wipe my eye. My fucking eyes do me head in again. Fucking thing. Oh, it's as irritating as fuck, I tell you. Honestly, I close my eye and I'm blinking, I'm thinking click, 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 as though it's sticking on something. What? I don't know. Unless it's my fucking eyelashes are tangling up and what have you. Oh, fuck it is. Oh, it's annoying. More crap. Anywho. Oh, an itch. Ooh, and that hooter was because I just went over the line. That's what that hooter was. Which I've also found that this line gauging thing, it also picks up where the tarmac has been, the lane of the tarmac meets another lane, and it's got that black shiny strip in it. It gets set off by that as well, which is a rather inconvenient. So, but yeah. But that's it really when it comes to that kind of thing. I mean, you've also got to be aware of what you're carrying when you come to sharp bends like that. So, you know what you've got on the back. You should have had a look, inspected it. Is it strapped properly? Is it strapped as it should be? Does it need strapping? I mean, all that kind of crap that goes with it. And then when you've done all that, take your time And when somebody says, how long are you going to be? You say, I'll get there, and I fucking get there. Shut up! You annoying sack of cack! Anywho, we endeavour to make our lives as easy as we possibly can. I mean, imagine these guys here, these transporter guys, right? Their vehicle, their trailer is designed to try and keep the centre of gravity as low as possible. But you've got 3 stacks of cars there, so the gravity, even though they're trying to keep it low, it's still got this top end sway, so they have to be very careful about what they do. And it's like when you have the tall boys, the taut line of tall boys with the swan neck, when it's got a really low base, so they can have it double stacked, and some of them have like the elevators inside, the little lifts, and some of them are fixed, some of them have lifts. But as a driver, if you're going to have one of those things, right, you've got to make sure that, one, it's loaded correctly, right? If it's a fixed one, right, make sure make sure they're fucking loaded correctly in the first place anyway. So, first of all, heavy shit never goes on top. Never goes on top. If somebody loads heavy shit on the top of it, then you're asking for trouble because you're throwing the dynamic of the trailer out, right? It's designed to have the centre of gravity low. That's why you have those small dinky wheels, right? So your heavy shit goes on the bottom and your light stuff goes on the top. And also, if it's a multi-drop you do, like 2 or 3 drops, you got to try and have it set up so that whatever's going, if it's coming off the bottom, that the top has to compensate, right? So it's still not too heavy. But you know, realistically, I would have thought that they would have done it, because I'm only speculating because I've never used one, but this is how I would see it. But if you're going to do a multi one, you need to be half and half, if you like. So you'd take the bottom off, and then the back would drop down. You'd take that section, and then that would be it. Then the rest is staying on the front. That's how I would see it working, because you wouldn't just take the bottom off and then leave the top, because then you're throwing the trailer out of whack. You know what I mean? It's out of balance in a sense. But hey, I don't know. I mean, but I'm just speculating really. And if it is a fixed one, again, you want to be able to deliver to your place of delivery. And if it's a multi-drop, you've got 2 or 3, you'd have it sectioned so that you'd be taking a couple off the bottom and a couple off the top. That'd be your first one. Second drop would be a couple again. So it's always matching all the time, and the weight is always kept. Somebody in my fucking eye. Get out. Oh, what you doing, my head in? I can't win. Yes, anyway. So, yeah, there you have it. It just, to me, it just makes sense. It plays on the common sense side of when you're doing things like that, whatever type of job you're doing. I mean, if you're, you know, you got a what do they call them? It'll come to me in a sec. What the fuck do they call them? Low loader. There you are. If you've got a low loader, again, they have dinky wheels. Centre of gravity is low because you'll be putting stuff on it. Normally with a low loader, it's other machinery, equipment, vehicles. It could be anything. They're designed again to be low, to keep the gravity low. Because when you put something on top of it, it messes with the dynamic. But because it's down low, that's what it helps with that. And again, it's down to the driver's responsibility to make sure that it's positioned correctly. I don't know what's going on here in my eye. I ain't got a clue. It's fucking. I feel like wishing I'd never had any fucking eyelashes at all, because it really does piss me right off. They do nothing but irritate, get caught. I end up with half of them in my fucking eyes. They fall out literally constantly. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So there you have it. You can take another example as well. Your tippers. Tippers have a kind of a slightly different dynamic as well, and they do their pulling with all the bulk stuff. Whether it could be dirt, gravel, grit, bricks, bits of scrap, it could be anything. Because it's just in one big lump, it has to be balanced, because say for instance if they're sticking in sand or gravel, obviously there's only so many bucketfuls that you can have in there, or else you're going to obliterate your weight guard. So exceeding the 44 ton ain't a good thing. But you can't just dump it in one place. You have to make sure that the guy who's doing the digger bit has got a bit of common sense and knows he's got to spread this shit about inside the back of that container. And if he doesn't, then it's up to you then to go, you see that whacking great big mound that's sat over the 3-axle? Yes, mate. Is there any place you could shovel that towards the front as well? You know, because I'm going to be a little bit... I mean, can't you see their fucking back tyres are pancaked? You know what I mean? You just got to think about it. The walking floor ones as well, them are another one. Similar kind of thing. They're bulkers as well, aren't they? But they have a walking floor version. And they walk all the crap out of that. Again, you just got to make sure that when it's loaded equally. It's not just the guy with a digger, it's also down to you to open your gob and go, I don't like that. Because at the end of the day, right, no matter what you're pulling and where you're going, what the load is, it's your responsibility to take it from point A to point B. But you've got to take it safe, and you need to open your gob up. If you're not sure and you think to yourself, that don't look right, that don't, and then you get the guy who's put it on, you go, can you manipulate that somewhere else? And because I've had it where I've picked up trailers where they've put 2 doubled stack either side of the trailer, right? Double stacked it, and the rest are singles in the middle of the fucking trailer. I'm like, you're asking for trouble there. Double stack, you start at the headboard and work your way down. So the headboard's high and you work your way down low, right? Simple as that. Within weight reasons, obviously. You don't get putting double stack shit on there if it's going to end up having the first 4 pallets are going to be like 12 ton. You don't want that. That's just ridiculous. You know what I mean? Absolutely ridiculous. But again, it's up to you. You have to be vigilant and pay attention to what's going on there. Or if you're picking up a trailer that's preloaded, have a look at it. Get your eyeballs in there. If you don't like the way it is, then it's up to you to put it how you want it and make sure it's safe. It's no good blaming the driver before you, because the driver before you, he's got it there okay in the way it is, but he's not you. You're completely different. You have a different driving style to start off. You might do things differently. So it's up to you. It's not up to anybody else, it's up to you. Is this 3 lanes or 2? I think it's 2, Ed. It's 2. It's all well and good going on about, oh, you got to strap everything, you got to this, you know. No, you ain't. That's fucking bullshit. You ain't got to strap everything at all. I mean, I'll give you for an example. There's a place up in Stafford that do this insulation stuff. It's the foam boards, right? And they put on the back of your trailer, and they're literally, right, within about a foot from the roof of your trailer, right? And they're 3 meters. Hang on, no, that's not right, is it? How wide are they? 2? No, I think they are about 3 meters wide. So they put 4 down and then 1 on the back, right? 3, 6, 9. Yeah, that's right, because they're about 1.5 meters in width. So it just about fits on, because we end up with 11 stacks in total. So you have obviously 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and then they put the 1 through the back doors. But they're really high. And this one guy, he's got all his straps out, and he's fucking putting straps, and I'm thinking, what are you doing, dude? Oh, Walton says, because he was a new driver, Walton says you've got to strap everything. I said, no, you haven't got to strap everything at all. Anything under 400 kilos per pallet, you ain't got to bother. Doesn't matter, it's fine. That's the pre-misconception of strapping your load. Granted, if it's a bit obscure and it needs to be secured, then yes, of course you do. Then it doesn't matter how heavy it is then. That's common sense. That's just fucking, that's, you know, you should know that shit anyway. But these fucking things, they're shoehorned in, they're up to the curtains, they ain't going nowhere. You have not got to strap these things. And I laugh my bollocks off when I say it. And plus as well, they're not even anywhere near 400 kilos. I mean, I don't even think that. I think there might be, 100 at the most, I think. I don't even think. I don't know. I'd have to work it out. I think it ranges from around about 4 ton in total. Yeah, the whole load is about 4 tons, so divide that by fucking 11 and see what you come up with. It's not a lot. But it's not 400. I know that for a fact. But even if it is, I'll be fucking very surprised. How much is it? I don't know. Either way. But, again, with those type of loads, you haven't got to strap it. It's not going anywhere, right? It's not in any danger. It's not going to leap out the side of the fucking trailer, right? It's not going to cause the vehicle to do some fucking weird and wonderful shit that you can't control. It's an inanimate object. It ain't going anywhere. The only reason why a load shifts is the dude who sits here, right? The one who sits where this bloody round thing is, right? He controls what that load does. Which goes back to what we were talking about before. You know, be careful. Watch what you're doing. Drive with care. Simple as. I can't stress it either. Driving these things, right, it's not difficult as long as you use common sense. Don't care about the ring, ring, ring. Are you there yet? No. You don't worry about that shit, right? You get there when you get there. Never, ever, ever rush. When you've got a job to do, you get it done as safely as you can, and you get there when you can, right? These things you don't rush about these things. Nah, I learned that fucking lesson I have. It's not worth it, it really ain't. It just isn't worth it at all. So, you've got your load on, you're the one who's checked it, you're happy with the way it is, that's it then. Everything's buttoned up, you got your paperwork, off you go. And that's it, done. Container work, they are. Can you imagine having straps inside that fucking thing? Where's the difference? I'll tell you where the difference is, right? And I think it's a bit of a shit, really. The difference is it's a complete steel box, right? When they go over, everything's still inside it, right? That's the argument they're trying to make. But you tell me, right? I'll give you for instance. You've got 26 pallets of beer on the back of your trailer, right? And you've got to put a strap down the side of each one of them, okay? Right, you've done that. Now let's think logically here, right? You tell me what a 2.5 inch wide strap is going to do with boxes of beer that's been stacked onto a pallet that weighs about, nearly a ton, right? If the guy behind here is being a cock, don't matter what the fuck's strapped on it, don't matter. Because if he goes around the corner too fast, it's still going to come out the side if he's going nuts. It's still going to destroy shit. It's still going to pull the fucking roof down, and it's still going to end up in the field somewhere. Right? Or even strewn all over the fucking motorway, depending on whatever happens, like, you know. Because those straps, they're pointless. If he's going to do something that means that load's going to move, then he's not driving correctly, is he? Simple as. I remember seeing a picture on Facebook of this guy. He'd got all the straps down the side of his beer, but he'd gone too fast round a slingshot, right? And he was on its side, right? The roof had collapsed, the support posts had buckled, right? And all the stuff was hanging at the side of the trailer. His straps were still on though, but the fucking product wasn't nowhere near it. It was down the fucking side of the road. I'm like, what's the point? So then you have to then think to yourself, well, if that's the case, realistically, what's the point? Why is it that they're all adamant about this shit? I'll tell you, this is my opinion, I'm sticking to it. They're using that because it makes money. It's just an excuse to take money off drivers. If they pull you over and you ain't strapped your load correctly, right, then they'll either, depending on how they feel I suppose, will go £100 fine, whatever it is. That's money in their pocket. And then you're forced to then secure the load as they see fit, which I find that a bit of a hypocritical thing to say, because they're not the one that's sat behind the driver's wheel. The driver who's driving is sat behind there, so he should know whether that load is secure or not. And if he's driving on the road and he's been travelling, let's say for argument's sake, 3.5 hours down the road, and fuck all has happened to that load, it hasn't shifted, hasn't moved, hasn't even fucking farted, right? It's still where it was when he was loaded at the destination he got from. Who's right? As far as I'm concerned, the driver is perfectly fine doing what he's doing. Because if it hasn't shifted in the 3.5 hours that he's travelled, up until the point he got pulled over maybe, right? And then they're saying your load is insecure, I beg to argue that fact, because how are you telling me it's unsecure? You know, I mean, that's the argument you can have. How is it unsecure? I've just travelled 3.5 hours from where I've just fetched it from. It's still where it was. It ain't moved. So how is it unsecure? It's got no straps on it. Doesn't need any straps on it. It doesn't go in anywhere. Ah, well, it might do. What? It's an inanimate object. It can't do fuck all. What do you want to do? Leap out the side of the fucking curtain? Oh yeah, whee! Off we go. You can still imagine it, can't you? Fucking tin cans are big and because they want to jump off. Is that enough? No, we're not going this way. Fuck it. We want to go down there. We don't want to go to the shop now. We're going to fucking rebuke. But that's the sort of shit that goes in my mind when it comes to that kind of crap. Because it's just nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Common sense comes into play. I understand that. Right? I get it. But to strap shit just for the sake of strapping it, right? Don't understand that at all. It fucking boggles my brain, it does. If you're going to drive like an arsehole, then yes, strap everything, because that'll protect you from the load being shot in the back, right? You don't want none of that. So it's like when I get to Prince's Bradford, right? When you're picking up there, it can be fizzy stuff or flat stuff, juices and stuff like that. Now when I'm there, because I'm going up and over the Pennines, because I know the kind of road I'm travelling on, I strap the fucker, right? Because I'm going up an hill like that and going down a hill like that, you know what I mean? I strap it because it's my peace of mind knowing that where I'm going and the road I'm travelling on, it needs to be secured, right? But if you're going to go tootling down the road and it's a fucking perfectly flat, realistically, you don't need to. You can stick a couple of straps on the back of it just to hold the back up. That's it. That's all you need. But no, Mr. Vouser don't like that. Give me some pennies for every single one. It's like, well. So I stick a couple of straps across the back of it to keep the back in, and then all the way down the side of it. Pisses the blokes, our drivers off like no end when they pick it up from our yard. It's got to go to Mega and it's strapped from front to back. Oh, yeah, I'll make a meal out of it, I do. But, you know, there you have it. Because the pallets are over this fucking 400, I want to do quote marks, yeah, 400 kilos, strapping it, you have to do. Doesn't make a blind bit of difference, but there you have it. You have to, because they have deemed it's unsafe if it's not strapped. But the problem that I've always got in my mind then, because it's like, well, hang on a minute, I'm a curtain side. I've got 26 straps on the side of my curtain already. So it's true, isn't it? I mean, Some have got less, but ours ain't. Ours have got 26. There's 26 straps inside those curtains all the way down. That's strapped, if you think about it. And it's got a big curtain to cover it. Even better. No, don't work like that. It just seems that as the years go by, they try and fucking conjure up all sorts of excuses to make our job even worse, make it difficult, and then try and fine us as much as they can, right? There are things that drivers do that they shouldn't do. I understand that, right? Like breaking the law when it comes to your daily rests and stuff like that. Brilliant. By all means, slap them across the fucking kisser for doing it, because they shouldn't be driving tired or fucking over the 4-hour period and not having a proper break, you know what I mean? Great, do that, no problem. Making shit up just to fucking make money, that just gets on my fucking wick, that does. I find that offensive. But then again, are they doing it because the standard of driving has dropped to the point where, well, we can't fucking trust these people these days, you know what I mean? The fucking knuckle draggers are behind these steering wheels. It's like, well, we're going to have to do something. Maybe that's what it's for. I don't know. Is that the reason why? But if that is the reason why they're making the rules like they are, then surely that means that the skill of the driver then is diminished, right? So, for argument's sake, people who passed decades ago, like I don't know, 20 years more, they've got some serious skills. Not all of them, granted, because not all of them are as good as me. I'm just awesome. I am the best ever. Not even close. I try to drive as best that I can to keep an eye on that. Right? That's it. I take my time, I do what I can. But I'm not brilliant, but I try to be as best I can. Right? And with some of the skills that I've got, and the way I do drive, I try and pass them on. Right? Because I've found that if you do drive in a certain way, it betters yourself. I don't believe these fucking computerised, this is how you're supposed to drive. It don't work like that, right? Because we're all individuals, unfortunately. But there's a general pattern that you can use, and some of the things that I do may help others. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what it is all about. You know what I mean? But yeah, it does amaze me sometimes. It really does. Why they do it, I don't know. So it just comes across in my eyes as if they're trying to rob money off you. That's it. They're making excuses up instead of getting down to the serious stuff. Dangerous drivers, right? People who are fucking breaking the rules when it comes to driving constantly, where they're doing multiple jobs and end up driving probably 24 hours. Them are the sort of people you don't want on the road, because them are the ones that have got more chance of causing accidents and killing people. But I don't know. I don't know where you would draw a line. It's my opinion now, I'm sticking to it. But looks like the roof, the skylight of a caravan has come off because it's on the floor. Ain't bits out there. Oh dear. Well, my nephew was right. He says that the weather was a bit naff over where he was, and now I'm driving down there. We're driving into all the cloudy crap now, ain't we? It's a bit naff, isn't it? Wonder if it'll start pissing it down the rain. It's got a chance, ain't it? Oh, well, it's got a chance, without a fucking doubt. What time is it? 1:10. Ooh, 1:10. Nice. It's all good and stuff. I'm at work tomorrow, me. I say that in the fact that tomorrow for you lot was probably a couple of weeks ago, and it was Good Friday. Yes, I'm in work, and I'm on work, and I'm at work on Monday as well. So yeah. I don't mind the working the bank holidays because you get a decent amount of pay, so I don't mind that. It's not a bother. And I like my weekends anyway, so I don't need to stretch it out. But if ever there's a time where I do fancy a long weekend, then I'll have a long weekend. But when it comes to bank holidays now, I'll work them. The only ones I don't work is the Christmas ones. I like to keep the Christmas ones so I can put them with the holidays and have a decent Christmas break, like, you know.